Hello and welcome to the Stress Mastery Podcast. I am your host, Peggy Romero. This is the Saturday edition, and I'm so glad that you're joining me today. I really appreciate you listening. This week, we've been talking about commitment, and it's been a great week. I just love how those guys will take a topic and then put a spin on it that you don't expect. So much to learn, so much to consider. It's just never ending. So go back and listen if you missed any of them because they're really helpful for our growth. So there's many ways to look at commitments. And as Bill reminds us all the time, there is no greater commitment than the one to yourself. And I've struggled with this my whole life. I remember just a few years back that I would have seen commitment to myself and to self-love. Well, actually, I saw self-love as sinful and selfish. So I didn't have a good relationship with even the idea of it. Thankfully, I've changed my belief about that now. So I can see how not having a commitment to myself first had allowed me to get into many terrible situations and also some not too good relationships. So my personal growth at this time is about relationships with others and my relationship with me. So it isn't that easy, but I'm doing it. So here's the thing. I started out intentionally working on me. And I'm so excited. I'm really glad I did. I'd been learning the tips and tools of stress mastery. So I'm like, hey, everyone, I'm going to be the best me I can be. Imagine how much better I'll be and how much more you're going to love me. Yeah, yay, sounds great, right? Wrong. Turns out they love the old me. This new me, full of new ideas and ways to do things and ideas and boundaries, nah, not so much. Basically, my people would like to shove me back into the cage where I was, but I couldn't go. So now I have this commitment to myself and to my growth, and I am beginning to feel all the pain of my past being released. I feel better about myself every day. I feel better about my life and my journey and where I'm going. Like, why would I want to go back? I don't, not at all. So after a few years, my new commitment now is to heal my relationships. And of course, this includes the one with me too. So I now believe that my relationship with me is the basics for everything. How I think about myself, how I feel about who I am, where I'm going, what I do. Unfortunately, my commitment to myself blew up my relationship, and now I live alone for the first time in my life. I'm always alone with me. I'm always alone with my thoughts. And so good thing I got a handle on Lucy, my ego. I'm so grateful that I've been working on releasing the old programs because I'm telling you what, if I'd been alone with my old thoughts from a few years ago, I would be in deep trouble right now. I'd been full of regret and sorrow. But now I realize the ego's full of lies. I mean, I know it. The ego's not telling you the truth. The ego's not even you. So if you're living in your head and not in your heart, then you can't even believe yourself. You can't believe what you're telling yourself because you're unconscious. You're not even you, literally. Now, I remember when Bill first, told me about Name the Ego and the state of awareness, I was flabbergasted. I'm not kidding you guys. I would get so zoned out, streamed, we call it, that I would wake up in the middle of work or in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of driving home or making dinner or whatever, all of a sudden realize, holy smokes, I was unconscious. I was spinning in the stories of my newly recognized ego. What the world? I'm not kidding you. It was like awakening from a dream, only that dream, not a dream. It's a nightmare. It isn't real. It isn't true. And like I said, it isn't even you. So stop listening to the lies. So if you want to make a commitment to yourself, then I suggest naming the ego. Start with the truth. Sometimes the truth stinks. I get it. But don't go negative. As Joel Osteen says, what seems like a setback could actually be a setup. New things are coming right around the corner. Good things, too. Seeing the truth for me about the relationship I was in, oh my gosh, it hurt so badly. It rattled my cage. It shook my world out from under me. Nobody had to tell me the truth about it because the more aware I was, I just began to see it. The truth was, he was holding me back. I knew he was for years, but I stayed. I was okay with it. I was even happy with it before deciding to work on me. Honestly, I was. I was committed to that relationship for better or for worse. But God in his infinite wisdom shook things up a little bit. So now he's not supporting me. He's getting mad constantly, dragging me down as much as possible. I stayed with him without his support and honestly feeling a little bit unloved, maybe a lot bit unloved. I used meditation, soul searching, finding the now, let go technique, visualization. None of it worked. He was miserable. I was trying to manifest a better relationship. Finally, he suggested counseling, and I gladly went. But unfortunately, after maybe, I don't know, I think we went 6 times total, she told me if I didn't like the way it was, that I'd have to leave him. She made it very clear he has no intention of changing, and he behaves like a spoiled child. So still I stayed, with him telling me, this is who I am, take it or leave it, with him trying to pull me back so that I couldn't grow. Commitment or crazy? Not sure. Looking back, I'm still going to say I love the guy and it was commitment. I saw the writing on the wall, but I was blind. I heard what he was saying loud and clear. Believe me, he has a loud bellowing voice. I knew he was purposely trying to hold me back. He would intentionally sabotage the work I was doing. Like I said, I'm not going to argue with you. We can have a conversation, but he would try to, he knew how to, push my buttons, right? But still I stayed. Then he started being disrespectful to me in front of others. Now he's getting a little bit too much for me because I'm not one to air my dirty laundry in front of people. And he said that they were his friends too, and he could say anything he wanted. He can choose what he says to his friends, and that I wasn't in charge of that. Everything inside me told me to leave you guys. But the commitment to him made me stay. So at this time, I'm like working on my book. I'm coaching other people. I'm working for insurance agents. And believe it or not, I'm still staying present. Not sure how. I guess Bill's a good teacher. Never missed Green Focus Power Hour. I never miss it. I do my meditation every day, working my Course in Miracles every day, listening to the podcast every day, going for my walks every day, going to all my meetings for work, closing the day. It all works. I was grounded. I was committed to myself. So even with all of this whirlwind happening around me, I was at least 80% good. No, I'll say 80% great. I give myself compliments now. So I was doing actually really amazing. So now, at this point, I'm not allowing myself to be a doormat anymore. And I figured how to not be fighting with him either. So it was like this for months. Indifference, I guess, is the best way I can describe it. Only now, for the first time in my life, I'm not feeling happy. I usually feel happy, joyful, hopeful in heart, like I'm just happy at heart. This is really different for me to say that I was indifferent because there's nothing about me that's indifferent. I'm a vitality purpose. I'm all about raising the energy, not just hanging out, not caring about anything. And I'm usually content with what I have, and I wasn't at this time. It's just really hard for me to pretend. It isn't easy for me to be fake, to play the role or whatever. So living unhappy, God knew how I was feeling, so he threw another wrench in, and he knew that this would change everything. I found out that he was talking to his old girlfriend, not just now and again, but on a regular basis. So now I'm committed, but that's where I draw the line. I can't handle that. Once I knew that, everything changed. I didn't feel so committed anymore. I realized that what I thought I had, I didn't have. I guess I thought he was as committed to me as I was to him for this relationship, but this proved that he wasn't. So now I could finally see. The blinders were taken off. So she lived across the country, so he was saying, I didn't cheat on you. I'm not saying that they saw each other, but it really made no difference to me. He crossed the line. That's not being faithful. Bringing another woman into your daily life is not cool. So my commitment to him had been greater than my commitment to myself, and that was lowering my self-respect. That was lowering my self-worth. When you respect yourself, you're not going to let somebody else disrespect you like that. So I suppose that my fear of losing all respect for myself was greater than the fear of being alone. I'm not quite sure, but he crossed the line. So this new me realized that this was greater than my want of approval. And oh my gosh, I wanted him to see me. I wanted him to tell me what a good job I was doing. I wanted him to see that I was doing better. But he couldn't. So thankfully, everything happened the way it did. And he told me he wasn't going to change and that this, we just ended up breaking up. So it was okay. It was sad, but it had to happen. It like finally happened, right? But then the real work began. So fortunately for me, I really had put all this work and effort into that relationship. There was nothing else I could do. So when I walked away scot-free. I walked away with clean hands. I walked away fresh and light and happy. Not happy to be apart from him. I'm not saying that. But happy to live in peace. I didn't have him fighting me every day. Happy to be able to walk away with no regrets at all. This relationship, the way that it was, had gone on for years. And it would have gone on for years more because he was okay being unsettled. He was okay fighting. I'm just not that way. It had been getting worse and not better for years. So until I said no more, I have no reason to think it would have done anything but get worse. But when I look at this and I confront myself with the truth, I have to say, the truth is I am worthy of love from myself and from others. Truth is that relationship was one-sided. From the beginning, I did so much more for him than he did for me. And I'm talking about a lot more. I don't mind because I really have a servant's heart. Like, I'll get up and get you a drink of water if we're both watching TV. I'll go to the store if you don't feel like it. It's just how I am. It's just who I am. But truth is, once we broke up, my life was so much easier because I just had to take care of me. The truth is, I didn't need him for companionship. He was hardly talking to me anymore. And I have friends that love me and care about me and will talk to me anytime. They understand me. They're not trying to make me stay back. Truth is, I'm happy and comfortable with me now. Truth is, I have visions, goals, and I have a responsibility for my life. And I'm free to work on them now. So you guys, step 1, face the truth, even when the truth hurts, okay? Step 2, forgive. I'm telling you, forgiveness is tough, but it's so necessary. Forgive everyone. Forgive your friends. Forgive your family, your partner, your boss, and your coworkers. And don't forget, forgive you. You are the most important person on earth, so forgive yourself too. So for me, forgiving him was kind of easy, really, because I'd been working on myself so much, and nobody can make you feel anything as long as you can let it go. He didn't cheat on me because of me. That was all him. That was his fear and insecurity. He needed to set himself up for the next relationship because he doesn't like to be alone. I can't even be mad at him for that. Remember, I was the one who changed. I was the one who flipped everything over. He loved the girl that he fell in love with so much that he didn't want me to be a different person. And yet there I was, changing right before his eyes. He tried so hard to pull me back. And I'd been living in the red zone my whole life. High red zone for a long time. But he'd been living in mid red zone fear. So I always knew I was a little bit higher energy than him, and I used to try and pull him up a lot. But he likes to stay the way he is. And you can't blame him for that either, you guys. 80% of people stay there. I was the one who wrecked everything by changing. He was scared to death of losing me. And he was only reacting the way he knew how, by trying to pull me back down. He wasn't equipped with the tools that he needed for the climb in the first place. He didn't ask for the climb. And I just couldn't stay down there with him anymore. But once you find your way out of the darkness, you're not going to want to go back. I want to keep moving up the mountain. I haven't got there yet, like I said, but I'm working on it. I liken this lightened feeling to Jesus saying that it's heaven on earth, or Moses calling it the land of milk and honey. I call it living in a place full of love and peace. Why would I want to go back to the darkness? Not even for him. I begged him to take the journey with me. I was excited to teach him everything that I was learning. Bill actually offered to work with him while he worked with me. I shared all my tools with him, and he quickly decided against it. So sad for me. So sad for both of us. So forgiveness, yep, it all still comes up. We've only been broke up about a year now, but I can let it go just as quickly. And here is a great way to know how you're dealing with forgiveness, and especially like forgiving a person or a situation, right? So you think about him, it comes up. He cheated on me, or they got that job I wanted, or, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You get angry, or you feel that angst, that negative energy come over you. Your pulse quickens, You get that lump in your throat. Sometimes people get so mad that they even feel sick to their stomach. Whatever it is, you're completely upset, right? So maybe you go to counseling, or maybe you're really good at stress mastery and you just use the let go technique. Next time it comes up, you have to let it go again, and then again. But then there comes a day that you can think about it, talk about it, maybe even see the guy, and you're still okay. No activation, no emotion. Freedom from hurt and pain. You have forgiven them. The program's been released. That's forgiveness. Let it go. And nobody can make you feel anything. For me, it's easier to forgive another person than it is to forgive myself. I still have stuff that I don't like to think about or talk about. I'm trying to pull the Band-Aid off, dig into those old wounds and release the program because I know I'll feel better. So this reminds me of being a kid. My dad used to get our slivers out for us. They would sit under there and fester and hurt, and we didn't want to tell them about it because it caused pain, and we knew that tearing the top layer off and getting it out would hurt. So we avoided using the finger or the foot or whatever the hurt was until Dad noticed. And then once he noticed, then he'd make us sit there with all the other kids. We had 7 kids, remember? We'd all be gathered around while he dug it out. He found what was causing the pain and he removed it for us. And guess what? When it was gone, we got better. We faced our fear, removed the sliver. Now we can begin healing. We can't heal with a sliver stuck in there and buried with a scab and a Band-Aid over it. Pull off the Band-Aid. Get rid of the pain. Once it's gone for good. Releasing the programs, oh, it feels so good. Release the pain and the fears that we carry. Be committed to living your best life. You can't do this by holding on to resentment and frustration. Forgive and forget. It will no longer cause you any grief or pain. And wouldn't that be nice? Yes. Life is too stinking short to be upset, you guys. So here's step 3. Love and respect yourself. So my commitment to myself and my self-love continues. So when I started my journey, I never thought in a million years I'd be alone right now. I actually thought that we were both 100% committed. I didn't think we'd ever agree to break up, but we did. When I started caring about myself and setting new boundaries, things changed. Things are going to change. It's inevitable. Remember, change your identity, change your reality. Commitment to you will make a difference, and not everybody's going to like it. People are going to want to push the line. Like I said, they can't help it. But when you stand up for you, it encourages self-respect and self-worth. So finally, I see it. I know I'm worthy of love and respect. I know I will not let someone treat me as less than ever again. I am worthy of a beautiful life. And I'm not talking about deserving because of something I've done or who I am or anything like that. I'm talking about being worthy because God said so. We were all created with a purpose, and we're beautifully and wonderfully made. Make a commitment to be the best you. Be beautifully and wonderfully made person that you were meant to be. And remember, you need to be aligned with your purpose. Begin to live your life on purpose. Name your ego. Find your still point all day long. All you have to do is take a breath. This is the path to healing and self-love, you guys. We're equipped to live in peace, love, and joy. We came here like that, peaceful, lovable, and joyful. Why would we intentionally settle for anything less? You don't have to, but it starts with you, and overcoming the ego isn't always easy, but it's always your decision. I hope that you will choose you, choose forgiveness, choose peace, spend your life in love, connected to your heart and soul, connected to your purpose. Enjoy your life. Let go of the pain. So here's how I'm doing it. Face the truth. We've all got baggage. Dig it out and let it go. Forgive, and then forgive someone else. Forgive yourself and others. Clean out those old wounds. Pull off the scab. Take out the sliver. Seeing the truth and forgiving will lead you to step 3, where you fully are committed to love, honor, and respecting yourself. Like I said, I'm not totally there yet, but man, am I making progress. I'm making my way. I'm happy again. For years before Stress Mastery, I lived in force constantly. I pushed my way through everything. I tried to do things my way over and over and over, just time and time again. But forgiveness really is the only way. Henry Ford said this about the Edsel, which I think is so funny. You can have any color you like as long as you like black. So I'm saying you can forgive any way you want as long as you forgive. Get it? Why live unhappy when you don't have to? So I was thinking about this. I cannot begin to imagine how many hours that Bill has put into these teachings, into the podcast, the courses, the community, and the curriculum that he's written. He has worked and spoken all over the world for decades. And here we are today. What a blessing to have this knowledge available to us. It's right here. We have the tools to a better life at our fingertips. All we have to do is accept this gift and take the steps. I say this all the time. It isn't easy, but it's always worth it. So I encourage you, if you're not part of the Stress Mastery community, please join us. If you can possibly make it to the Unity Village this week, please come to the Rise Up and Shift event. And my book comes out this Monday. It is available at peggyromero.com, but also starting Tuesday, Amazon and Kindle and Barnes and Noble. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Finally, Becoming the Person You Were Always Meant to Be is available this week. So all of you who so lovingly pre-recorded or pre-ordered my book, thank you. I will send you a signed copy as promised as soon as I get them. I should get them on the 19th, I think. To all of you who read the electronic copy and are giving me reviews this week, thank you. I am so grateful to everyone who's listening today too. I really appreciate all of your guys' support. And I hope that this will help you make a commitment to you. You are so worth it. Reach out to any of us anytime here at the Stress Mastery community because we're here to help you on our journey. On your journey. And next week we'll be discussing getting unstuck. So I know that's going to be awesome. And a couple of the days we're going to broadcast from the event in Kansas City. So exciting. That's it for today's show. Our mission here is to create a shift in the planet. You can join us on this mission by simply like, share, and subscribe. The links are right below the show notes. As always, until next time, stay inspired.